on the screen, so I'll get it there in a minute. So now we are recording, and we are also live on Facebook. So um, we start our service with inviting the singing bowl, and the Christ candle. If you look over my left shoulder, you see the Christ candle is lit. That's hard to do, to point, watch and point. Yeah, there it is. And if you would, mute yourself so that we can all enjoy the service without interruptions. And so again, welcome to everyone. This is Unity Spiritual Center of Panama City, online service for December the 13th. And it's so great to see everyone and have a chance to put our arms around each other, even if it is virtually. So we welcome you, and so glad you're joining us here. If you're here live, or we are on Facebook, we may have some people on Facebook joining us, and we welcome that. And you can also watch, this will be posted to, the recording will be posted on YouTube later today, so you can watch it later today or for sure in the morning. So again, welcome. This is the third Sunday of Advent, and we know Advent means beginning, new beginning, which allows us time and space to nurture a fragile new understanding of who we are, who we truly are, as tenderly as we would care for a new baby, as we care for ourselves. We have looked at hope and faith um, 2 weeks ago, and last week Bill talked about peace. This week we look at the divine attribute of love. And so to get this started, let's listen to the song, the great song about love, and that's that You Are the Face of God by Karen Drucker.
You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu es l'image de Dieu. I hold you in my heart. Tu es l'image de l'amour. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. Tu sei la luce di Dio. I hold you in my heart. Tu sei il volto dell'amore. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of love. You are the face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of love. The face of love. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are my family. You are my family. You are the face of love. The face of love. You are the face of God. The face of God. I hold you in my heart. You in my heart. You are a part of me. A part of me. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. Eres la luz de Dios. I hold you in my heart. Eres la cara del amor. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. 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 The face of God. You are the face of God. L'image de Dieu. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. The face of God. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. The face of God.
You are the face of God. How appropriate for this time when we're in the middle of this COVID-19 pandemic, and we see the face of God in all the people that here are here with us. Today is the third Sunday of Advent, as I mentioned, and we have an affirmation on love, which is the attribute that we're talking about today. Rose Flora would be giving us our talk from our booklet, and but first, Sheila's going to read our affirmation. Sheila.
Hi. Our Advent affirmation for love is love comes naturally as I let go of fear. When I love myself and others, I express my own Christ nature. Love feels good, does good, and is good. Love heals all wounds and soothes every soul, including mine. I let go of judgment, insecurity, and needing to be right as I welcome and express more love in my life. The example Jesus set in loving all people inspires me to expand my circle of loving relationships. I commit to showing up as love. At the very heart of me, I am love and I am grateful. These words were inspired by John chapter 13, verse 34, love one another. Please affirm with me our affirmation. Love comes naturally as I let go of fear.
Love comes naturally as I let go of fear.
Mhm.
Thank you, Sheila.
Oh, you're welcome.
So let's pray. We pause for a moment to lift our eyes upward, not just our outer eyes, but our inner eyes to rise to our higher consciousness, to see, to remember, to acknowledge the one source that lives and moves and has being in each one of us. We celebrate this awareness and rest in the awe and wonder of the magnificence of spirit. Yes, we acknowledge this time of great suffering during this time of COVID, and yet we can celebrate and raise our consciousness and uplift everyone with our presence and just see the world full of peace and love and see the face of God, just as we witnessed on the slideshow with Karen Drucker. And we just raise ourselves up even in these times of drastic suffering, and we just pray for everyone, pray for ourselves. We lift our consciousness, and we know there's life is eternal, and yet in the middle of this, we walk with each other with grace and love and wonder and awe of this beauty. And we know there's an end to this. We know that there's an end. Do you realize that next month is 2021? So yes, 2020 will come to an end. And so we celebrate this. We're thankful for this science of a vaccine, and we just give thanks and awe and wonder to the universe and in each one of us as an eachness and an allness in the presence of beingness. And we say this in the name and through the nature of the one living spirit. Amen. Unity of Panama City get to the right slide. Unity of Panama City is an open and accepting spiritual community for multiple, multi-generational, and diverse individuals with open minds and hearts. We use affirmative prayer, meditation, education, and practices to inspire and empower people of all faiths to apply spiritual principles in their everyday life. And those of you in Unity know that the spiritual principles we talk about are Unity's 5 principles. And they're on the slide here. I'm not going to read them, but I encourage you, even those of you who are in Unity, let's go back to these periodically so that we know this philosophy of our teaching is the way that we incorporate the Unity principle into our life. They're not just platitudes and sayings that we know, but they're truly the philosophy of the way we can live in peace and harmony and in oneness. The Zoom opportunities through the week are the same this week. Tuesday is at 6 p.m. Rose Flora has a group that she facilitates A Course in Miracles, and that group is going strong. And I'm so glad that they're do this as part of our community. So join that if you will, if you wish. 9 o'clock on Wednesdays is Coffee and Chat I'll be there, and several others in the community are there, and we just chat with whatever is on your hearts and minds. Thursday at 11 o'clock is meditation. I'll lead that at 11 o'clock on Thursday morning. So I invite you to join us for any of these Zoom opportunities. A good chance to stay in touch with the community in these times of physical distancing. Today after service is community chat. We'll have a chance for each of you to ask questions about where we are. Bob Flora, president of our board, will walk us through a few agenda items, and then we'll just have a chance for questions and to see what's on your hearts and minds. So one of the things I'm grateful for, extremely grateful for, is the giving for this spiritual community. You have blessed us and continue to bless us with your giving, and I am so very grateful for that. So, God gives us 2 hands, one for giving, one for receiving. And so thank you for that and for your continued giving. If you wish to donate in this season of giving, it's what Christmas is for a lot of us. You can go to unityofpanamacity.org and donate, or you can get the address, P.O. Box 16046, and send your contribution by mail. And there's been several prayer requests this week, so let us pray with you. Please send us your prayer request, or you can send them directly to Unity Village. That's part of what Unity is a big part of Unity is praying, affirmative prayer. So please join us as we do that. I did want to say one thing before we get off of before we move on. Let's say our divine affirmation virtually, since we're not together, but let's say our affirmation together. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. And that's part of our prayer, is the abundance of life flows through us, and we give as source to our being. And so it is. I did want to mention one personal prayer request. The dad of my great granddaughter, her name is Charlotte Grace. Many of you have seen her on Facebook, and she joins us sometimes on Wednesday mornings when she's here, and I hold her on my lap during Zoom. Her dad went to the emergency room last night and had to go to Fort Walton. They couldn't get him in one of the hospitals here, and then he's being transported to Gainesville. He's got fluid around his lungs and a mass. He's 24 years old. And so we just hold him up in prayer today with me. I'll just put it out there for the energy for health, wholeness, and energy for him. And I know many of you have some prayer requests, so send them in to us, and we'll pray on them here for 7 days, and then I send them on to Silent Unity, where they're prayed on for 30 days. Bob is going to read our daily word today. Bob?
Thank you. Yes. For Sunday, December 13th, 2020, the topic is love. The affirmation is, love surrounds me and fills my heart. Love fills my senses throughout this Advent season. I find it in the taste and aroma of my favorite holiday recipes, lovingly made. I hear it in my favorite Christmas music, sung with joy. I feel love in a Christ enthusiastic hug and in a friend's caring touch. I see love and joy in the festive decorations adorning houses and neighborhoods. The love of friends, family, and neighbors at Christmas time surrounds me in so many ways. Throughout the year, love remains the most beautiful evidence of the presence of God in and through all things. Love is the harmonizing power that infuses the world and everyone in it. Inspired by divine love, I perceive the divine in every person and all situations. From 1 Corinthians 13:13. And now faith, hope, and love abide, these three. And the greatest of these is love. The affirmation again is love surrounds me and fills my heart. Please affirm this with me right now. Love surrounds me and fills my heart. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Bob. So it is. So this morning, as we begin to focus on this love attribute that we use to experience our true presence, we're going to do a little difference of entering affirmation meditation today. I want you to keep your eyes half glazed, half opened, and just in a meditative, contemplative state. You might take a couple deep breaths to fully relax your body and just release the thoughts of the day. As your body relaxes, you can also relax your mind to tune your awareness directly to spirit. So as we watch these images and listen to this powerful, deep, healing music that will take us into meditation, I invite you to watch these images if that's comfortable, or you can close your eyes if you want to just listen to the music. Either way, let this take you deeper and deeper and deeper into the being and the core of your being of who you truly are. So here's the music and the images that you can at the end of the music, we'll just go right into meditation, right into the silence. And so just hold the silence for a couple minutes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Another deep breath in and exhale. No matter the question, the answer is always love. The answer in our lives is always love. Our purpose here is to be loved and to be loving. Take this into your daily walk, into your daily experience, into your daily doing. Another deep breath in and exhale that love into every cell and organ of your body. And let the breath rise up. Inhale and then exhale, and as you exhale, open your eyes when you're comfortable and be fully present in this place, in this time. Right now, we say, thank you, sweet spirit. And so it is. And now Rose is going to talk to us about love, for the attribute of love from our booklet. I hope you're following along with our Spirit of Christmas booklet. And she'll probably show you this too. But Rose, we're looking forward to you.
Well, good morning. Thank you, everybody, for coming to visit us today. This is the third Sunday of Advent, and guess what? Yes, it's about love, okay? So, and it's coming from this booklet here, as Ron said. So I'll be giving you some definitions, what some others have said about love, and close up with a short poem, okay? So the dictionary says that love, number one, is an intense feeling of deep affection. Number two, a great interest and pleasure in something. Number three, a person or thing that one loves. Or number four, in tennis or squash or some other sports, it's a score of 0, a big nothing. Okay? So love, 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 love. Okay? I got some new pajamas that I just love. They're so soft. And they're made with 95% recycled material. So I love them even more. I just love the color green. There's so many different variations of green. And I certainly love ice cream. Of course, I love my family. I love you, my friends. I love God. Jeez, there are a lot of different kinds of love out there. We say we love stuff all the time, don't we? Even Benjamin Franklin said, wine is constant proof that God loves us and wants to see us happy. Well, I'm sure that's a great thing for our wine connoisseurs to know about. So many loves out there. What about the love within ourselves? The love for ourselves? Remember last week when Bill was talking about peace, and he was talking about the peace within ourselves. Thank you for that segue, Bill. And we didn't even talk to one another about it. Isn't that great? So how often do you say to yourself, I love me? In our Advent booklet for today, 12/13/2020, it says, I receive love graciously and reflect it to the whole world. And in the booklet, Reverend Kirk Condra says, the instant we become willing to receive the infinite love of God, always pouring out upon us, we're compelled to give it back. It's our nature. And as the booklet says, in the Bible, in Colossians chapter 3, verse 14, it says, above all, clothe yourselves with love, which binds everything together. in perfect harmony. Now, as I talk more about self-love, you'll hear that there's a definite difference between self-love and self-care. In general, experts say that self-love centers around the thoughts and feelings we have about ourselves. Self-love is achieved within, whereas self-care focuses on our actions. Major difference is that self-care is achieved by acting externally. And it is one way to nurture the self-love within. So how and why do we do this? In a Unity article by Elizabeth G. Howard, she's with Unity World Headquarters, in the article, How to Practice the Power of Unconditional Love Every Day, she says that loving others is impossible. Loving others is impossible until we love ourselves. Now, many of you are familiar with Louise Hay. She's an author, founder of a publishing company called Hay House, Science of Mind minister, and she has many other titles. And she says that when people start to love themselves more each day, it's amazing how their lives get better. They feel better. They get the jobs they want. They have the money they need. Their relationships either improve or they dissolve and new ones begin. And that to her, to be enlightened is to go within and to know yourself, who and what we truly are. And that we have the ability to change for the better by loving and taking care of ourselves. And that it's not selfish to love ourselves. It clears us so that we can love ourselves enough to love other people. And that we can really help the planet when we come from a space of great love and joy on an individual basis. To Louise Hay, love is a deep appreciation. And that when she talks about loving ourselves, she means having a deep appreciation for who we are. We accept all the different parts of ourselves, our little peculiarities, the embarrassments, the things we may not do so well, and all the wonderful qualities too. Now, Wayne Dyer says, if you don't love yourself, nobody will. Not only that, you won't be good at loving anyone else. Loving starts with the self. Maya Angelou says, I must undertake to love myself and respect myself as though my very life depends upon self-love and self-respect. Now, once again, I brought this book up before, The Quest by the Jafalas, which is used in Unity often, and we have classes with that. And in The Quest, the Jafalas say that the power that is love begins with God, but we need to accept that love as our own before it can be sent to someone else. That this is true self-love. And this type of self-love is not ego-centered. In fact, it's anchored in the greatest of humility, because only in loving self can we act as clear conduits for God's love. The more we accept God's love, the more we allow it to pass on to others. And they also say, loving others is impossible until we love ourselves. And that without a love of ourselves, there's no baseline to measure other love. Without a love of ourselves, we feel unworthy of any other love. We tell ourselves, like, if I can't love myself, how can I expect anybody else to love me? And only when you love yourself can you remove the obstacles to the expansion of yourself. Often we consider ourselves unworthy of love, and we're not able to express love. The danger with that is that when we believe ourselves to be empty of love, we look for someone else to fill the void. When we look to someone else for love, we fail to experience what true love is. It's only when we release the love within that we have accepted for ourselves that we experience true love. In the Course in Miracles, it talks about the scarcity principle, And from that point of view, it says that we seek in others what we feel is lacking in ourselves. We love another in order to get something for ourselves. And that, in fact, is what passes for love in the human world. And that there can be no greater mistake than that, for true love is incapable of asking for anything. The self, the capital S self, that God created needs nothing. It is forever complete, safe, loved, and loving. It seeks to share rather than to get. Now, there is a quote that I'm going to share with you that has quite a lot of controversy surrounding it because they're not sure where it originated. It says in the Course in Miracles that that's where it originated. There are others say that it originated with Rumi. So if you got some time on your hands and you want a project, this is something that maybe you can investigate. But here's the quote. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. And the reason for that is because God's love is always there, always here, always everywhere. And it's just waiting for you to let it in, to accept it. Now, there are many doctors and psychologists all over, such as Dr. Deborah Kashoba. She has a doctorate in clinical psychology, and she said in Psychology Today that people who have more self-love tend to know what they think, what they feel, and what they want. They are mindful of who they are, and they act on this knowledge rather than what others want for them. She says that self-love is dynamic. It grows through actions that mature us. When we act in ways that expand self-love in us, we begin to accept much better our weaknesses as well as our strengths. And we have less need to explain away our shortcomings. We have compassion for ourselves as human beings struggling to find personal meaning. We're more centered in our life purpose and our values. And we expect living fulfillment through our own efforts. Now, Beverly Flaxington, also in Psychology Today, said that loving yourself means becoming comfortable with who you are. And that understanding this can help us to turn our attention from waiting and wanting someone else to make us whole to realizing that we have that ability inside ourselves. Dr. Chiki Davis, who is a creator of the Berkeley Wellbeing Institute, says the idea of self-loving is often thought to be a crucial aspect of well-being. And that in their well-being surveys that they take, they see that self-love is the factor most closely linked to happiness. Now, sometimes if we're feeling bad about ourselves, it can be hard to even think of how to be self-loving. We're often speaking to ourselves with an air of negativity, and we need some kind of exercise or something to help us to learn how to speak to ourselves more kindly. So here's some things that maybe can help you a little bit. Okay, love your personality. Maybe you're kind. Maybe you're funny, you're interesting, or you're strong, or you have some other personality traits that you really like about yourself. Concentrate on that or those things to grow your self-love. Love your skills. What are you good at? Maybe you can fix a car, change a tire. That's one of my goals. I'm not really good at that. Draw, run, problem solve, whatever. We all have something, some skill that's worth loving if we just pay attention to it. Love your appearance. Boy, that's a tricky one, isn't it? I mean, how many disorders have we created with that one? Because we compare ourselves to models and actors, and we can end up feeling like there's no way we can compete with that. But that's not a fair comparison, and we know that. So what part of your appearance do you love? Do you have good eyebrows? Maybe your earlobes are really cute. Maybe you got nice looking legs. Maybe your toes look good. Find something about your appearance that you love and concentrate on that. Now, once we found some parts of ourselves that we believe are worthy of love, you know, we can create other things too. We can learn to forgive ourselves. We can work through some resentments. And this is so good for your overall well-being. Be self-compassionate. Self-compassion is when we are kind and caring toward ourselves rather than judging and criticizing ourselves. Let me ask you this. If someone else were doing or acting in the same way that you're criticizing and judging yourself for, how would you treat that other person? Often we treat others with so much more compassion than we do ourselves. So let's bring it in, okay? Lighten up on yourself. Let it go. How often do we hear that? Let it go, let it go, okay? When we hold on to negativity or let our ruminations get the best of us, we get stuck in negative thoughts that keep us down. We might feel bad about something we said to someone or regretful about the way we acted, you know, yesterday, 2 weeks ago, 30 years ago, whatever. That was then. That was 30 years ago. That was yesterday. That was last week. That was your lesson for then. That's not your lesson for now, unless the same situation comes up. But don't keep that negative feeling, that negative thought. Take your power back. We give a lot of our power away, and we have a lot of power. Now, of course, there may be situations like a job that you don't like and a boss that micromanages you or something, and maybe there's not a lot about that you can do about that now. But think of the things that you do have power over. And there are things in your life that you have power over. Whether I get out of bed today, what I have for lunch today, am I taking a walk today? You have power over things, okay? And that can give you a sense of control. So start looking for the things you do have control over and taking action when you can. And who knows, maybe eventually that will give you the strength to maybe look for another job if you have a boss like that. Okay, practice gratitude. Gratitude for ourselves. You know, tell yourself thank you every now and then. Thank you. You know, thank you, Rose. You did a great job eating that salad today and passing by that piece of cake. That was a good thing. Okay? There's lots of ways that we can practice gratitude for the things that we do in our lives. Remember, love is a skill. It takes practice. It takes practice to both give it and also to receive it. So we can work on these things. You know, maybe you want to write some of these things down. You know, you can write down 3 good things that happened, you know, a gratitude writing or about our positive qualities that you noticed today. We can write those down or celebrate the strengths. You can put it in your journal. You can call it a love yourself journal. wonderful things. Use affirmations. You know, we've talked about that in the past, about how many affirmations are out there. We also talked about if you record your own affirmation in your own voice, it often works even better. And remember this, we can't keep treating ourselves poorly or letting other people treat us poorly if we want to grow our self-love. So I'm going to challenge you during this holiday season to practice some self-love. Okay, that would be your gift to yourself this holiday season. Isn't that what the season is supposed to be about? Love? Try to take the time to look in the mirror. Maybe when you get up in the morning, look in the mirror, give yourself that great big hug, okay? And you can tell yourself, I love you, Rose. Well, you might not say Rose, but you can say you love you, right? But if you want to say Rose, that's fine. I'll take that, okay? And doing all this, remember, when we love ourselves, when we learn to love ourselves, we can extend that love out to others, okay? So now I'm going to close with a short poem by Rumi. I've been looking for a long time for this thing called love. I've ridden comets across the sky, and I've looked below and above. Then one day I looked inside myself, and this is what I found. A golden sun residing there, beaming forth God's light and sound. Thank you so much for listening. Namaste.
Rose, I hope you can see all these Zoom ways and namastes and love. So thank you very much. Thank you for that beautiful, those beautiful words. Very appropriate for this time. So let's, we can all unmute ourselves, and I see there's quite a few people here today. Let's see, we've got, there's 16 different images, and there's a couple with 2 on there. So we've got a good crowd this morning. And thank you also for being here and for letting us love on you, and for loving us. And that's what we come, that's why we keep doing this, is so that we can, as spiritual community, we can just love on each other. And Rose has given us a lot to know that we can love ourselves, as and we should love ourselves, although there's no should. We can love ourselves, before we love others. We almost have to do that, so we know that. So I'm going to invite you to, as we close today, as we usually do, I'm going to invite you to unmute yourself, and we'll join in the prayer for protection together. I've got you all on the screen so we can see all these lovely faces, and I'll say the line first and then ask you to repeat it back. The light of God surrounds us.
The light of God surrounds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The love of God enfolds us.
The power of God protects us.
The power of God protects us.
The presence of God watches over us.
The presence of God watches over us.
Wherever we are, God is.
Wherever we are, God is.
And all is well. And all is well.
All is well.
Namaste, my friends. Happy Sunday. Happy Sappy Sunday. So I'll stop the recording, and we'll do our stay online, and we'll do our community chat.